This video is kind of random. It came to me in a dream. I have to put them snugly in the background. I don't know how. Blush. Pump on parent. So there's just me being like legit a person who exists and kind of talking about, well, my experiences as like le gay, le homosexual, my experience in the LGBTQ community. Was that cringe? I'm sorry. I did not mean to be cringe. I have a pom-pom parent plushie. What am I talking about? Okay, so context. I've been on HRT like 176 days, babe. Oh, estrogen, obviously. I think. I feel like I'm pretty trans femme coded, right? I think that's obvious. I'm wearing like an oversized hoodie and booty shorts right now. If that doesn't say anything, I guess a T-boy could be walking that, swagger. And with my medication and everything, things have been fine. I've noticed good things. Like, I have baby hairs. I'm like cursed for a shot, but I have little baby hairs that I didn't have before. And that is so poggers because I've always been terrified about losing my hair on testosterone. Like, always. Because my dad, boy, I did not want that. Like, look, I love my hair. This is my natural hair. I woke up in the morning and my hair is this fluffy. Not pink. I very much dyed it pink. But you get it. You get it. But with, like, the good, like, I've had my chest development starting, and that's been awesome. And I'm really excited for it. And I'm getting on progesterone soon. Super excited about that. If it happens, it happens, and I'll be glad. If it doesn't, at least I don't have to worry about hair loss. I'm not gonna complain too much. I wasn't even sure if it was right for me when I started. I just did, and now I do prefer like everything that's happened so far. Except for I lost my drive. Like kind of 18 plus topic, but like skipped like a minute, and like that thing don't really work anymore. Not in its usual ways. Nothing really comes out. Other than that, everything's been good. I didn't know I wanted to transition at first, and yeah, back then I didn't really have like dysphoria. Like estrogen's something neat, and I would like to be perceived more like femme and like woman coded, which would be great. I like wearing crop tops. I like when they're tight. I can wear crop tops now, by the way, and like the tight ones, I can see the little bitty like things I got right here. And every time I do, I'm just like walking places, and I'll be like, as I walk. It's pretty fun. Otherwise you can't see them. I don't even have to wear bras. I'm hoping that changes. Which might sound like a weird thing to hope, but it's important to me. I should probably voice train if I really care about it, let's be honest. But I try. Despite my physical changes, I have noticed my mental changes. Like, at first, I was fine, and I actually felt kind of more regulated than I felt before. But almost being 6 months now, I've really noticed my mental health fell off the deep end. And I think that might just be a puberty thing, because puberty, my first puberty, really bad. Ever since I was 14, depression. Depression. Like, bad. Like, my depression, it's been kind of awful. It's not really the depression itself, it's like my anxiety. which I've always had. The brainworms, the depression, everything. I still, think it's worth it. Like, I don't know if they can actually be like being trans is scientific and your brain is chemical wired to be female, but you were born as a male, or vice versa. Like, I've heard studies like that, and I want to believe it, but it might not be true. And do we need a reason? I don't think so. Like, I would assume the reason is the fact that we exist and it, does work for us, and we prefer the changes. Should that not be obvious? Like, good of a reason enough? Because I think it should be. I think it's feminist. Like, honestly, my body, my choice. Period. That should apply to, abortion, like, HRT, cosmetic surgeries, literally whatever you want. That's your personal choice. Like, religion, anything about your life. Like, I truly believe that everyone should just be able to choose their own destiny. That's kind of cheesy, but it's what I believe, and I hope it's what most Americans believe. I'm I'm talking about America because I'm an American. Go figure. My social anxiety, because I didn't even know if I wanted to transition back then, I didn't really have dysphoria. Like, estrogen's something neat, and I would like to be perceived more like femme and woman coded, which would be great. I like wearing crop tops. I like when they're tight. I can wear crop tops now, by the way, and the tight ones. I can see the little bitty things I got right here, and every time I do, I'm just walking places, and I'll be as I walk. It's pretty fun. Otherwise you can't see them. I don't even have to wear bras. I'm hoping that changes. Which might sound like a weird thing to hope, but it's important to me. My dysphoria was triggered by anxiety. My brain was trying to conservative brainwash my own self. Obviously I'm surrounded by conservatives who use conservative rhetoric, right? And that's definitely bad for my mental health. And I absolutely my brain was you know how you have trauma when I was young, I had things happen to me that were not good, and I'm maybe that's why I'm a weird trans person. A weird LGBTQ person. Maybe it's just trauma coping, and I'm a little insane. I am a little insane, but that's the whatever is wrong with me. I'm pretty sure it's just brain chemical soup. But a little part of me believes the conservatives who tell me that it's just your repressed trauma being I'm going to pretend to be a woman because someone was mean to me when I was 6. And I don't actually believe that, but it's hard not to think about when a part of me is repeating it to myself, particularly when I'm in an deep sense of I guess despair. Moment to say, check out my snake bites. I haven't really filmed a video in a while. Under my freaked out tooth, but snake bites. I get them done well, first thing was when I started HRT on December 30th of 2024. 2 days later, and my belly pierced. 4 days later? It's 4 days later because it was in the 2025. And then about 2 months later, I was like, I want my snake bites. So I went to the same person, and he did my snake bites. Did a really good job. Everyone's told me they look like super symmetrical, and I'm assuming they're right. They better be telling the truth, or I'm going to be extremely offended. I came out to my friend as non-binary in like high school because I thought I was just androgynous and gender non-conforming, but like a he they, right? But that gradually evolved into they them for like years, and it's like 16 to like 2024 I was solely like a they them, and then in the middle of like a few months ago, 2025, I'm like, I think I prefer she her pronouns, and they them is kind of outdated for me because I want to present like as a woman. I want to be seen as a woman, but I don't want, like, I'm aware that I do not look like a woman. you know um and that's a crazy thing, and I think that adds a lot to like my dysphoria. I know I'm only 6 months on EU, but I feel kind of like bad for not being that person who gets like an A cup like 1 month on estrogen, and then living with my family. Like, what would I do if I actually did get like the amazing development I dream of? Like, if it got noticeable, I don't know what they would do. My self-pity depression wagon is so fun. And then that just ties back to like, the dysphoria, obviously, which has only gotten more intense. Like, honestly, while I was at work and I was having that like train of thought that was really problematic, like my dysphoria triggering my anxiety, and then my anxiety being like, no one's ever going to love you. And then me being like, oh my god, you're so right, because I'm fat and ugly and disgusting. That led me to almost having a panic attack, like in the middle of work. Like, I was shaking, I looked weird. One of my coworkers asked me if I was okay, like two of them did. And I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm just like on the verge of anxiety attack. Lol. Because, yeah, like, honestly, it was really messed up. I don't wish anxiety on literally anyone except for Donald Trump. I hope he has terrible social anxiety, but we know he doesn't because he doesn't have a conscience. Period. I'm sorry for bringing him up. The videos at me laying in my pillow position. Sorry. I got tired of like sitting up. I don't know. I literally said ADHD. Yeah, pretty bad. I do not take Adderall. I really should. Like, I kind of want to. But I'm like, you know how much 3 months of like HRT cost? Like $60. And like, that's with insurance. Thank the lords. No, I have insurance. And like 3 months is a long time. Like, thank you. But if I did not have insurance, that would cost like solidly probably more than $200. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, and I was like, because my pharmacy gives me the paper, and it's like, this is how much it costs with your insurance, and this is how much it costs without your insurance. It's crazy. It's like, medicine in America is really fricked out, and I hate this country. I don't really hate America. I hate the people that really, lead it and are extremely conservative and money hungry. Capitalism sucks. We all hate it. I hope you hate it. You better hate it. You better support your local socialist politician. I swear. Free healthcare and cheaper medication, at least cheaper medication, and cheaper housing benefits everyone except for the rich, the ultra rich, who benefit from poverty and war and also murder. don't don't interact with them. Donate to a homeless shelter. Yeah. Donate to a food drive. Those are really good. I do that all the time. Literally used to volunteer all the time, but now I have a job. And that kind of sucks. But like, work leaves me dead inside. And I do not have the energy. I'm trying to think of other takes I wanted to add to this, I guess overall kind of summary vibe, right? Like, transitioning, scary, dude. Scary. Terrifying. I'm a real person. Think about that. I exist in the world with you. You. You know? Isn't that weird? Like, human evolution, insane, you know? From like, chimpanzees, I guess. Hominids, to like all kinds of different species of humans. We survive. Homo sapiens, go us. I'm definitely part Neanderthal though. Like, you see how big my forehead is. I definitely have more of that DNA than Homo sapien, if you ask me. Way to go, Neanderthals, ex Homo sapien crossbreeding events in Europe and Eurasia, I guess, as a whole. Yeah, way to go, guys. Great job getting it on. I wonder if they were gay, Neanderthal, like, Homo sapien lovers. I hope they got a happy ending. There must have been, right? At least one. At least one. Neanderthals had to be a little fruity, right? Maybe Denisovans? One of the proto-humans, not that aren't us. Some of them had to be a little fruity. I'm sure they were. They better have been. They were just crazy to us if you weren't a little fruity. Not actually. That's a joke. Can you tell that, I literally forgot what I was saying. I'm bad at it. But yeah, no, like, literally, in summary, it's scary. I think it's worth it, because I do want to live. I, like, my depression and everything, so bad, but, it's worse when I was just a guy. Like, if I have any hope of, like, changing, I'm all for it. Like, you wanna make me, like, a hot babe? You know, I'll be so glad. Like, one, let me apologize for saying fat instead of plus size, because I feel like it's kind of rude. But also, I say to myself, and like my friends and I say it about each other. My bestie and I are both like super fat. We're not super fat, but we call each other fat. It's a joke because we're besties. But like, fat women, pretty hot, objectively. We all deal with our own, bull crap. I'll just call it that. We all deal with it. If you need support, you should really, really get on the internet and find some like nice little support groups. I don't know if Discord for you. I've never been a Discord person, but maybe you'll become someone's Discord kitten. Maybe you're into that, Assuming, I don't know, feels like something you'd be when you're like 17, Like, I'm a Discord kitten. I don't know. Go on Reddit. Reddit has, AGIRL, amazing community on Reddit. It's really funny. Thinking of other, Reddit just has a lot of, like, trans enclosed spaces, like LGBT spaces. Tumblr is great, if you ask me. They're weird about what they censor. Like, they censor stuff that's not really adult content for no reason. It's kind of annoying, especially trans women's posts. It'll be like the most mundane photo, and it's like tag trans woman, and it's like censored, and you have to like be like, yes, I'm an adult to view it, and it's not spicy whatsoever, and it's like, it's just her in a Sunday dress. Like, why did you consider this like adult content with put like a sensitive content label over it? That's insane. Um, but what was I saying? Literally, find a community online if you don't have a community in real life, because you're really gonna need one. It helps you discover yourself. If I had more experience with the trans community online, I think in a positive way, I would have known I was trans a lot sooner, and that estrogen was right for me. I think if around 18, I had known that I wanted to, transition, I would have done so, like, without a second guess, you know? And it probably would have inspired me to get a job, like, right out of high school. I didn't do that. I stayed inside for an entire year. I graduated in 2020, and it was, kind of a bad year. I stayed inside, like, for an entire year, and I did not leave the house. And that wasn't good for my mental health. But, sure was a year, wasn't it? Graduating 2020, weird experience. Also, dating me and how old I am. But I'm sure I've said how old I am before. It's not a big deal. Oh my god. What? Oh, TikTok. Why didn't I even think about TikTok? TikTok is valid, I guess. I don't use it. I'm too old for TikTok, if you ask me. TikTok is something like the youngins are using. I associate it with like younger Gen Z people, but literally my coworker, who I work with, 2 years older than me, he uses TikTok all the time. So what do I know? I was just never that person that uses TikTok. I'm literally the person that has Tumblr. I literally said that. Like, no dip, you're not the person that uses TikTok, Tumblr user in the freaking year of our Lord and Savior 2025. Anyway, yeah, final one. I hope you have a good day / night / midday / dawn / dusk, and you're here, and I'm glad you're here. And I hope we all get to inherit an Earth that's friendlier to us and more accepting, and I guess just downright happier, easier to live in, easier to come to terms with, I suppose. Yeah.